Okay. Okay, we are going to talk about subqueries. Okay. Now the question is, who has the highest balance in the bank? Who has the who's getting highest salary in the company? Or who is the person who's getting minimum salary in the company? Okay. So in order to write this query, normally people would think about, select max of. Okay, this will give you what? This will give you what is the clear balance, the maximum clear balance. But what is the question? The question is something different. Different. What is the question? Question clearly says minimum or the maximum clear balance and who has it. So the question is very clear. Who's the person who's having clear balance? Now, if you want to write like this, it will give you only the clear balance, but not the person name. But if you need the person name, normally people, trying to put name in this context. Okay. Then they'll think that, sir, this will give me name and the maximum balance from accounts master table, but definitely it will give you error, not the name. Right? Apart from aggregate function, whatever you have, that has to be there in the group by clause. That's what we have learned. So then they'll remember this point. They try to put group by clause in this context. Okay. Sorry. Uh, they'll put group by name here and they'll get all the names. Okay. But the question is, who's the person who's having the maximum clear balance? So this is not the way to write it. Okay. The other way is only using subqueries. Now, this question which we are discussing now, who has the highest balance, has two internal queries. The first query is what is the highest balance and who has it. Okay. So we have to understand first, find out what is the max balance. This is the first question you need to write. Okay. To understand this, this would be the right query for you. So this will give you the maximum balance. But the question is not the maximum balance. We have to understand maximum balance, then who has it. So the second question is has it. Okay. Then you have to find out select name of a customer table. Okay. Who has it? So select name of a customer where C balance equals to open the bracket, close the bracket. This will be, I'm just copying and pasting it here. Okay. And this would be your subquery. Now, because this will give you the maximum, whatever be the maximum balance here, the maximum balance is 10,000 rupees. The 10,000 rupees here will get substituted. You have to be very clear on this. It will get substituted here. And based on this, you will get the name. So this would be the execution. We have Ravichandran and Arvind, the two people we have who has the maximum balance. So you can put star as well so that you would be understanding the complete picture. So Ravichandran, Pune, BR2 branch and maximum clear balance is 10,000 rupees. Arvind Reddy from BR3, loan account he has 10,000 rupees is the balance for him. Okay? So this would be the right approach. So first you have to find out is the clear balance, the maximum clear balance. If somebody asks, what is, who has the minimum clear balance in our bank? So you have to put minimum. So let us understand what is the minimum. So understand minimum F5. So 500 rupees we have. This will get, this query will be executed by SQL Server and it will remove this and put 500 here and this will be executed now. Okay, so you have to be very clear. So when you write a query, this is a query, this is known as outer query, and this is known as a subquery or outer inner query or nested query. Okay. So what is a subquery? Subquery means a query in the where clause is known as a subquery. Okay. A query in the where clause. A query in the clause is nested query or query. So if somebody asks what is a subquery? Clear? Subquery means a query in the where clause is known as a subquery. Okay, you have to be clear on this. So the next question would be, the next point would be executed first. Executed first, then is query. Okay, subquery would be executed first, then the result is passed to the outer query. Outer query executed. So this is what is the execution. If you have a subquery or the inner query or the next query, subquery would be executed first, then the result is passed to the outer query. Finally, outer query will be executed. Okay. So you can have many number of subqueries. For example, I have, let me take this. So this is one subquery and this may have some. So this may have another subquery, okay? Subquery can have another subquery, and that that subquery can have another subquery that like that. We can have maximum levels of is allowed in the subquery. What do you mean by nesting? Nesting means I am calling Arvind, Arvind calling is Ravi, Ravi is calling Shravan, Shravan is calling John, John is calling David. So this is what is a nesting. So I am calling you, you are calling somebody else for getting the answer. Okay, this is what is a nesting. So it is maximum 32 levels of nesting only allowed. If you call 33%, for example, David is 32%, David is calling Vimala, she is the 33%, then that's where SQL Server will revoke. Revoke means it will roll back entire stuff and it will give you error. So maximum 32 levels of nesting only can be allowed inside the subquery. So you have to be very clear on it. Then Ravi is asking a question. Do you have any material? Okay, that's what we discussed. And is it compulsory to mention DBO? The answer is no. As of now, no. But sometimes if you have a schema, you have to mention DBO. Okay. Thanks, Ravi. Max 32 levels of nesting is allowed in subquery. Clear? Now, clear what is a subquery or what is a inner query? A query in the where clause is known as a subquery or nested query or inner query. Subquery would be executed first, then the result is passed to the outer query. Finally, outer query will be executed. Then max 32 levels of nesting is allowed in the subquery. Is this clear? Now, so this is how we have to practice this query. Now, if you execute, when you execute this query will give me the minimum balance. Okay, who is the person who is having the minimum balance? Okay, you may have one person, you have two person, you may have three persons as well. So which will give you. So there is no issue in it. So the DBO is not mandatory. I'm just it here. So you can put anything. There is not an issue for you. Now let me see the table. I have star there. So I have Vimala who is having 500 rupees here. Then Vimala is the a person who is having minimum clear balance. So let me update the table and give Shiva has some 5,000 or something. No, we are talking about this, right? Yeah, we have to say clear balance only. We are not talking about unclear balance. So we have to be clear balance. Now she is the person. Now Venkatrao is also having 5,000 rupees. Let me update this value. So I am update account master equals to say 500. Me put it to Shivakumar, where ACID equals to 106. Now I'm updating this. So now let us see how many people have the balance. Now it will give you two people. One is the Vimala already she has, and now Shivakumar also would join because his balance is now 500 rupees. Okay. Now if you get another guy. Now, for example, we'll give Ravichandran is aiming 10,000 rupees. For Ravichandran, we'll make it say 101. So Ravichandran now is having say 200 rupees only. So this is the minimum balance now. Now you will get only Ravichandran here, not the other people, because this is the minimum balance. So 500 is the not the minimum balance. 200 is the minimum balance. Only Ravichandran has that. Like that, you should be able to test also. This kind of testing is very, very important for everybody to do. Okay. So what is the syntax of subquery? Subquery means you have outer query. So in here you have to put a where clause, and this is what is the inner query. Syntax of a subquery. So the subquery, this is outer query, and this portion is called inner query. Clear? The next query people would ask is, then tell me. So this is the query. Select name from account master where balance equals to select max balance from account master table. So the subquery will be executed first. The result is substituted over there, and it'll then outer query would be executed later. Now the next question people would ask is, who has the second highest balance in the bank? Second highest balance in the bank. Have you tried out this query table, and let us see who has the second highest now. Now who has the second highest? 100, 5,000, 500, 8,000. So what is the second highest? Let me sort it by C balancing descending. So let us see what is the balance is 8,000 rupees. Uday Kumar has it. Okay. Now the question is we have to get the Uday Kumar now. Now how do we do that? So less than one. So is there any the clue you need to put it here, because now we are able to write how to find out the maximum balance, but the query now is you know this is who has the max balance. But now second query would be who has the Okay, so this will give me always a, who is the highest. Now we have only Ravichandran, but who is having second highest balance? Second highest balance is having now Uday Kumar. I have sorted the data. Do you have any clue? Venkat is saying not equals to. What is not equals to? There is a small trick you can use. The trick is like this. Okay, a table like this. I have a table. In that, I have person called A. He is having 10 rupees, and I have a person called B. He is having 20 rupees, and I have person called C. This guy is having 30 rupees, and I have person called D. He is having 40 rupees. Very simple table we'll take. Let us take this is some EMP table. The salaries of the persons. A salary 10 rupees, B salary 20, C salary 30, B 40. Now who is the person who is having maximum salary? D. 40 here. And now you may ask the same question. Who is the person who is having maximum salary? A comma D or A and D. Now the next question would be who's the person who will be having the second highest salary? Second highest salary now C. Now how do we get this? 30. After getting 30, you need to have the person name. So for this play trick you need to play, you need to first identify the 40. Okay, that means you need to identify the maximum salary. So you got 40. Then after getting 40, then you have to eliminate this, or you have to less than 40, you need to again find out the maximum salary. That means, so if you find out the maximum salary after leaving the 40, you will get 30. So the logic here would be you need to identify maximum salary as usual. So the query is here. This will give you what is known as a maximum salary. Sorry, minimum, right? So we need maximum salary. So what is the maximum salary now we have 10,000 rupees, but we don't need maximum. We need less than 10,000 rupees is the second highest. So again, you have to find out the same thing. Uh, Account master table. Now there is a small thing you have to use it where now C balance less than the whatever you have identified now. Will give you 10,000 rupees. This will give you 10,000 rupees. So less than 10,000 rupees, and you need to again find out the maximum balance. That would be the second highest balance you should be able to get it. That is 8,000 rupees. You don't need 8,000 rupees. You need, who is the person who is having it. So then you have to put what is known as a select team from account master. Now where balance equals to open the bracket here, then this would be the subquery. And all of them will be the subqueries there. Okay. Now this subquery would be executed first. And after that, you have one more subquery. This would be starting there. Clear? Subquery. This would be starting here. We have to close the bracket. Okay. Now, first this would be getting executed. This will give you 10,000 rupees. Then once it is over, from here to here, this portion would be executed. Then this will give you 8,000 rupees. Now finally, entire portion will be executed. Who has 8,000 rupees? Now let us see. Uday Kumar is the person who's having 8,000 rupees. Let us see whether perfect or not. I am ordering it. So Uday Kumar is the person who's having 8,000 rupees. This is the query. But if somebody asks tomorrow who's the person who's having, 10th highest, 20 highest, 100 highest, then find out the maximum balance and less than again find out the maximum balance, less than again find out the maximum balance will give you lots of issues. So we have to find out a easiest way. Group by the list will not give you any kind of values. If you want me to try, I can try out. You can give me the query. So execute that. You try to send the query, Manju. Clear? So is it clear? Now, who has the second highest balance means you need to find out the first highest, then less than this, you have to find out this balance. So Manju, send the complete query. What is send me the complete query. So who has the second highest balance is this. Okay, you need to find out the maximum balance. Then less than that, you need to find out the Again, maximum balance that will give you 8,000 rupees. Then you need to find out the name. If you somebody asks what is the third highest balance, then once more you have to less than the second highest balance. You need to find it out. Clear? So that's where the issue comes. So this is not the appropriate way to write a query. So I'll tell you the better way. Okay. So let me and give you the better query. Okay. So, Manjunath, I think you need to practice that because you practice, you would be able to understand. You practice using having clause, other people also, because every people, I have told you how to use subquery and get the answer. But a query can be written in 50 ways. So, I have told you only one way. Remaining 49 ways, you can try it out. Okay, so you can use where clause, having clause, and show me the answer if you are able to do that. Okay, because we have to practice. If you fail in other cases, you will understand why we have to use subquery. Okay, so I request all the people to practice who is having maximum balance or who is having minimum balance, who is having second highest balance, who is having minimum balance in your own tricks and tips. Okay, don't copy my this one. You can use anything. So that would give you a very good knowledge for you to understand the subqueries. Okay. Now, is there any other way I can write this query? For example, somebody would ask what is the second highest, what is the third highest, what is the fourth highest, what is the fifth highest, what is that highest, and definitely people would give you then this one. So now, who has the 10th highest balance in the bank? If somebody asks 10th highest, then you cannot say less than this, less than that, less than this. Okay. So better thing is that let us practice this. So select account master table. Now, can I use any trick to get the only clear balance? See, first your focus need to be on the clear balance. Forget about who has it, who doesn't have it. Okay. First, you need to always concentrate on the clear balance here. So let us concentrate on it. So we have Arvind Reddy has very good clear balance. Now let me take. So let me take this simple table which we have it here. Okay. Now we have 10, 20, 30, 40, and E is the person who is having say 30, and F is the person who is having 40, and G is the person who is having again 30, and H is the person who is having 20, who is having 30 like that. Okay. Now your thinking would be not on the name first. Let us forget about the name. Forget, ask about what is the highest balance. Here, the highest balance would be 40. Then, what is the second highest balance? Second highest balance would be 30. What is the third highest balance? Third highest balance would be, say, 20. Like that, you have. So, can I arrange these numbers in any order? Okay, yes, you can write query like this. So how can you write? So you can write saying that uh, select, say salary column or balance column, select balance, okay, sorry, employee, order by what is known as, order by what? Balance, balance descending. So if I write this query, now what happens? Now it will give you so DEST, sorry. Okay, now this is the query I would write you. So when I select a balance from EMP order by balance, what you have is you will get same thing, but these will be sorted in descending order. So you would get, how you would get, you will get 40, you have 40. How many 40s you have? This 40 is over, and this 40 is also over. So then do you have any 40s? No. Then you have 30. Then you have one more 30. Do you have one more 30? Yes. So this 30 is over, and this 30 is over, and this 30 is over, and more 30, right? One more 30. Like that, the things would happen. So 330s. Then after you have 30 is also over. Then you have 20, 20, 10. So 20, 20, 10. Okay. Now here, what is the maximum balance? Maximum balance is 40. Then what is the second highest balance is 30. And now here you have the third highest balance is 20, then this one. So you have some duplicates in this. So if say, can I use a top one, top two, top three like that? You cannot use because top two also 40. So if you have duplicates, then getting some kind of a top is very, very difficult. So what I do is I'm using another clause called distinct clause. So select distinct balance. Okay. If I use distinct balance, duplicates are eliminated. So you will not have all of them will be eliminated. You will have only one. You will have only this one. So finally, you will be having 30. Then here you have 20. Then you have 10. These rows will not be there because I have used select a distinct balance from employee order by balance. So you have 40, 21. Now our this one is we are planning to get the third highest balance. To get the third highest balance, can I use the top three? The answer is yes. So what you can use is for the same query, you can put here top three. Top three means top three rows will be given to you. That means what? If I put top three, this top three rows will be given, the 10 would be removed. So these are 40, 30, 20. I don't need 40, 30, 20. I need the top third highest. That means my focus is on 20. How do you get 20? You can easily get 20 on. So find out the minimum in this minimum 40, 30, 20. What is the minimum here? The minimum is 20. Okay. If you find out the 20 that we have already got it. So this query will give you. So let me copy this query. So this is the query. This query will give you taking the same thing here from not employee here. I am putting account master table, then here order by CBAC. Okay. Now execute this query. Distinct class, I think you have to use it before this. Then you can use top class. Okay, I have 10 everything. If you remove distinct, you may have duplicates. So I am removing this. Oh, sorry. 10,000, 8,000, 7,500, 5,000, 500, 500, 200. You may have some duplicates, you may not have some duplicates. So now the thing is that you need to use distinct, distinct. And if I use distinct, this will be eliminated. Duplicates are eliminated. Then after that, I need say top fourth. Fourth means I need to find out who is having fourth highest balance. So you have to use after distinct 3 or 4, whatever it is. Okay. Now you will get this one. So 10,000, 8,000, 7,500, and 5,000. Now I don't need all of them. I need 5,000 only. So how do I get only the 5,000? So within this, you find out the minimum. So how do you find out the minimum? Right like this. Balance. Okay. From which table? From account master table. Okay. Where balance. Open the bracket and get this balance there. These four values would be supplied values which will find out the minimum balance. The minimum balance is 5,000 rupees. So this would be executed first. But I don't need all the values. I need the minimum of these four values. So that's what I'm trying to get here. Get 5,000 rupees. Now I don't need the minimum. I have to get the name. So I have to put select customer from C balance, open the bracket, and last we have to close the bracket, and here is your, okay. And here we have the another subcode. Okay. So the brackets and all, you have to keep it very clear. This will give you always who is the person who is having the fourth minimum balance, Venkat Rao. Now, if you need a top one, so you have to say highest balance top one, we have to change it here. Now, let us see who's the person who's having top one. Top one is Arvind. Who's the top third guy? Let us see who's having top third. Okay, top third is Seven Kumar. Okay, if you need star, you can also put star. Okay, this is the better query to practice it. First, you have to sort the data using a order by class, then eliminate duplicates, then use top three or top four. Then out of that, you have to find out the minimum, then get the name. So this would work for any kind of stuff. So for sub top 3 లో two people ఉంటే కూడా వస్తుంది. So let us understand ఇది this will work. Now let us say who is having top 5. చూద్దామా టాప్ 5 లో డూప్లికేట్స్ ఉన్నాయేమో. Duplicates. So we have Vimala is having top 5. Their balance is equal. So this would work for if you have 2, 3, 10, 100 people also. This would work. Is it clear, Arvind? Like that, you have to check. We have 10 people also in top 5. Let us see the table. Now, how many people we have? So we have, so order by it. Order by what? C balance descending. Okay. So you should be able to understand. Now we have 100, we have two guys. You can also change this guy to say 500 rupees. Now you should be able to get. Okay. For 101, we'll make it 500. Update statement, right? Where is that? 101, let us make it 500. Let us see whether this day comes or not. Okay. Now let us see this. We have three people here. Now let us find out here whether it will get that 5 guy also or not. So I have eliminated this. Now Ravichandran also. Clear? Which is not giving the duplicates, Ravi, you have to understand very clearly. The question is, who is the person who's having, maximum balance? The maximum balance could be 5 people, 10 people, 100 people. For example, you score 80 marks in your class, and I also score 80 marks in the class. And if teacher asks who are the people who scored maximum marks, Ravi and Bhaskar will, stand. So we are not duplicates actually. Duplicates means same kind of data would be repeating. So this is not a duplicate. Okay. This is we have two people actually. How we have two people? Now read the top 5 rows. So the out of top 5 rows, what is the minimum? It will give you the minimum is 500 rupees. Now, whoever is having 500 rupees, you remove all these things, then you put 500 here. That's it, you would understand. Select star from account master where C balance equals to 500, get the name. That's it, very simple query. Now you have repeat. That's it, nothing else. So, subquery will be executed first. Now, this is one subquery, this is under subquery. So, which subquery will be executed first? Innermost subquery will be executed first. Then the result is passed to this. Then this will be executed. Then this will be executed. So, if we have many subqueries, innermost subquery will be executed first. Clear? Then, if subquery is returning, for example, if I execute this, I have 3, 4, 5. I have 5 rows. Okay. If you're having 5 rows, you have to use in clause here. Now let me execute this subquery. Only one row. If it is giving only one row, I have to use equals to class. If subquery is returning more than one value, then you have to use in clause. If subquery is returning a single value, you have to use what? Equals to operator. This is the next point you have to understand. But subquery cannot return more than one value as of now. So, okay. So operator, and operator use what? Equals to operator. When you have to use this? When query returns a value. Afterwards, use operator. When subquery returns a multiple values. Okay, that's what you have to be understand. But here, single value and column is also single. Need to understand. And column, single value. Here also single column, multiple values. And subquery returns multiple columns and multiple values, then that's where you have to use one more operator. What is that? Use exist function. Use exist function returns multiple values and not the single column, multiple columns also. Means what? If you are, for example, let me explain this. Select from account master table, you write where balance equals to you put and you write the max of C balance from account master table. Okay, so this is the subquery. This subquery always gives you single value. When it gives you single value, you have to use equals to operator. When subquery gives me like this, for example, I am using the top 3 balances. The requirement I'm using like this. So now this gives me what? A single column, multiple values. Now you cannot use equals to operator, then you will get the error. Now see the error. Subquery returned more than one value. This is not permitted. So you have to use in operator. We have to use in operator. Okay. Subquery returns a table. That means account ID or the name. So how many columns I have? I have more than one column. If I have more than one column, I cannot use in operator. I cannot use equals to operator. I have to simply remove everything. I have to put what is known as exist function. So exist is the function we are going to talk about later, but not now. So as of now, you think like this. Purpose, what it is doing, all of them will discuss. But when it is returning more than one column, you have to be very clear. If it is returning more than one column, you have to use a function called exist function. What is exist function? We'll discuss later. Is clear? So max 32 levels of nesting is allowed in a subquery. Operator equals to when subquery returns a single value, the column is also single. Use in when subquery returns a multiple values but single column only. Use exist function when subquery returns multiple values and multiple columns here. Okay, all about subqueries. Is this clear? Okay, then the next topic would be, so I have written the same thing using correlated subquery, and this will give you confused, but before understanding this query we have to understand what is a correlated subquery. So I'll give you some practice for subqueries. List the ACID and the name where the account holder has done more than 3 transactions for the month of November 2011. This we have to practice, guys. Okay, it will be there in the video. You can just practice it. Derived table, we don't use it now. So let us talk about what is known as a subquery. So let us understand what is a subquery. Already we have discussed it, and let us understand what is correlated subquery, which is very important. All interviews would ask the same question. So if I have normal subquery, subquery here, whatever in operator equals to operator doesn't matter now. I'm having some subquery which is balance. Some subquery I have it. Now is subquery will be executed first, then the result is given here, then outer query would be executed later. So it's this notes, okay? Any doubts, Manju? Okay. So you can copy this later. So let us understand what is the difference between subquery and correlated subquery. Always subquery will be executed first in the subquery, but in correlation subquery this is different. Ulta, what is ulta? Outer query will be executed first and then the result is passed to the inner query. This is some completely opposite way. Will be executed first, then the result is passed to the outer query. That is normal subquery execution. But in correlation subquery, the outer query will be executed first, then the result is passed to the inner query, then inner query will be executed again and again. So this is the difference between outer query, correlation query, and the normal subquery. Clear? So normal subquery, inner query will be executed first, then the outer query. But correlation subquery, outer query will be executed first, then the inner query. Okay. So this is similar to loop in a loop. So let us understand. So correlated subquery. Okay, here what happens? First, inner query or the subquery there, but here the first thing is that outer query. Outer query did first, then is passed to the inner query. So this is how it will happen first. Executed first, then the result is passed to the inner query. Subquery executed again and again. of here you need to understand the second point very clearly. Now let us understand. Okay. So I have, let us say, I have 10, I have 20, I have say 30. This is the outer query. Give me. When outer query is getting these three values, outer query will not give these three values at a time. Outer query will give a single value and to the inner query. So first you will get the 10 here, and using 10 you would be doing some work. After that again this guy will go up and request for 20, then 20 will be given. Then work for the work using 20. Then once it is done, it will go back for 30. Then 30 will be given here. So what is the understanding? Outer query will be executed first. Outer query will not give entire result set. Outer query will give you a row by row or a value by value. It will pass to the inner query. Then inner query will take a value, then it will execute, then go for the second value, then gets the second value, again go for the third value, gets the third value, can go for the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh, eighth, ninth. Okay. So outer query, inner query have to work using a relationship. Why relationship? I am doing some work, then I'll come to you, then you give me next value. Again, I'll do with that value, again I'll come back to you, you give me next value. Okay. Both of them have to work using a relationship. Hence, this is not a, this is called correlation. The subquery will be relationship, it will be having it. But normal subquery, no, it will not be like that. In normal subquery, first and the result is passed immediately. So outer query will not come to the inner query, because inner query says, I have done my work here. You have to, to handle the remaining stuff. Here there is no relationship. Outer query will be independent and inner query is also independent. Inner query will execute, it will complete the work and it will say, hey, I have completed my work here. You have to take care of remaining work. So inner query will be executed in subqueries first, and there is no continuous relationship between outer and inner. But in correlation, the name is also clearly says correlation. Even though I have 10, 20, 30 there, the outer query will pass 10, then inner query will work on it. Then outer query will pass 20, inner query will work on it. Outer query will pass 30, then inner query will work on it. That is the meaning I have written here. So let us read this. Any confusion? Now, correlated subquery. One more point you can write is to in a loop in languages. This is very important point. You take C or C++ or any language you take. In a programming language, you have a loop inside a loop. For example, I have a for loop here. Writing a C program, I don't know whether you people understand or not, but let me explain. Loop here. For I am writing I equals to 0, then equals to 5, and say plus. Okay. Here, I write some work. I do some work here, okay? But inside that, I'll put one more loop. What is this loop? I'll put one more loop here. So what happens when we have I equals to 0, I less than, then I have say put some k here. So k 3 times and k plus plus. Now I equals to 0. So when I equals to 0, the loop will jump to k equals to 0. K will repeat the loop for 3 times. Then once 3 is over, then 3 times are over, k will again go for the second value. Here you will get I equals to 1. 1 will be passed. Then You will get 1, then you will get 2, then you will get 3, you will get 4, you will get 5, then execution stops. So, which is a similar to loop in a loop concept. So, you will get a single value from outer loop, the single value will be passed here. Again, this will go for the outer, then it will pass a value. So, it will go here, it will pass a value, it will go here, it will pass a value. Okay. Now, this is a similar to that. Similar to that, okay, outer query will be executed first. It will pass a single value to the inner query will be executed again and again, and it will go for the outer query, get the second value. Same thing you can understand and tell. If you tell this, people would appreciate a lot. Correlation subquery is similar to loop in a loop concept of any programming. C, C++, Java, .NET, same thing would work. So this is also the same thing. Clear? Now let me give you simple example where this would be useful. List the names of the account holders who have done transactions. Let me take you this one. So for example, I have account master table. Okay. Let me take ACID name. So let me say we have 101, say Ram, and we have 102, we have 103, say Lata. Three people here. Now, master, the transaction type, then amount they have done. Okay. Now 101 went to the bank, done some cash deposit of 4,000. Okay. Then 103 again 10 went cash withdrawal, say 500. 103 cash deposit, say 2,000. Like that. You have some data. Okay. Now, please understand this point very clearly. Now, who are the people who have done the transactions and who are the people who have not done the transactions? So, 101 has done 2 transactions and 102 did not do any transaction. 103 has done some transaction. Okay. Now, the question is, what is the question here? The question is, list the names of the account holders who have done the transactions. Who have done the transactions. Okay. So, let me so how is that I would like to write? Now pass these three values and you check whether 101 is there, yes. Whether you check 102 is there, yes. Or whether 103 is there, yes. Okay. You take this value, pass one by one and check. If it is there, then he has done the transaction. If it is not there, he has not done the transaction. That is the logic we have to use. Okay. Now let us understand the syntax. So how we have to write correlated subquery syntax. Okay. Star count master as AM, where I'm use exist function, where exist, open the bracket. So here I'm writing a subquery star table, say txn master as TM. Now till now you are not able to see any kind of a logic. Now the complete logic will be there in the where clause. Now where am dot acid equals to tm dot acid. This is where the loop would start. The complete logic behind the scenes. Now it will first this query will be executed and this gets only ACIDs from AM table. What is AM table? This is the AM table. So this will be kept in a RAM. Okay, that's what would happen. Now, so I have 101, 102, 103. Now what would happen? Each value will be sent from there to here, and if it is equal to, this will become true. What will become true? Exist function will be. Forget about all these things. Okay, if it is become true, this will become a single row. Account ID equals to true. That means it will send 101 to here and it will check out. Yes, I have a row. If I have a row, so that means this will become true. What will become true? If I become a true, I get select star from the same table. I'll get some row. If I'm getting a row here, then automatically exist function will become true. If exist function will become true, I am getting 101. So then I'll send 102. So 102 will come here. It will check it is not there. It will check it is not there. It will check it is not there. Then this will become false. This will not get any rows. Okay. When you don't get any rows, when you don't get any rows, this function becomes false. Will become true when you have rows. Exist function will become false when you don't have rows. Okay, then that will not begin. So this is the query we have to write. So let us understand who are the people who have written. Okay, so let me. So these are the people, actually all of the people who have done the transactions. Okay, I have Ravichandran, Venkatrao, Vimala. I have 102, 3, 4, 5, 6. They have done. So let us see whether are there any people who did not do any transactions. I have 10. Let me insert a new value here. So insert which table values. I'm inserting a new value. So 8. So here, Jogi. And what is the address? Say Hyderabad. Is working for is the open account in BR3 for say savings bank. Now what else we have? Data for this one. Data of this one. Let us take 2012 or 2013. Say Jan. Say second I have opened an account. Then what is the say 1,000 rupees and say 1,000 rupees. And the status is I'm still operation. That means account is still open. Okay. Let us see this. Now I have recently opened an account. I did not do any transactions. Okay. Now if you find out Bhaskar has the name but recently opened, I don't have any transactions. So if you see select star from Excel master, I don't have any rows there. I have opened. So you will not find anywhere 108. Okay, you will not have anywhere 108. So I did not do. Okay. Now who have done the transaction, let us understand Bhaskar will not come here. See, did you get Bhaskar now? 108. Okay. Now you tell me who have not done the transactions. So I have to use not exist. So who is the person not done the transaction? I'll show you Bhaskar. Clear? So this is the thing you have to understand. The entire logic would be here in this row. Which row? This row. This alone cannot be executed. You can execute. But subqueries means you can easily execute. This will give you error. That means when it is giving an error, you can easily say that this is a correlation subquery. When you're able to execute the subquery, that is a normal subquery. It is easily you can identify like that. Small trick. You execute the subquery. If that is working fine, that is a normal subquery. If it is not able to execute, then that is a correlation subquery. Now, so what is the exist function? Exist functions, that is right. Exist, okay. It returns true And there are some rows. Are there is at least row. Okay. Else returns. Okay. So this is what is exist function. It returns true when there is at least one row, else returns false. Okay. This is a Boolean function you have to understand. Okay. Booleans means always gives you a single value. It is a Boolean function. Function means you need to have this brackets. You have to be very. Now this is exist is the function and this is the bracket for the function. Okay. This is the bracket. Please understand. Okay. Why when you are using more than one column, for example star is more than one column, then definitely you have to use exist single column single value, then you can use in operator, otherwise this one. But in correlation subqueries always you will be getting exist function only. Okay, so this is exist function. Exist function will become when you get at least one row here, and if you don't have any rows here it will become false, then it will not get any. Clear? So this is the difference between subquery and correlation subquery. The people would ask interview question, difference between subquery and correlation subquery. Subquery will be executed first and the result is passed to the outer query. In correlation, the outer query will be executed first, result is passed to the inner query. Then inner query will be executed again and again, each value of the outer query. So that is the main difference. Now, subquery is independent, and here in correlation subquery is not independent, which is dependent on the outer query, and both of them have to work using a relationship. Okay, that is the next point you have to tell. These are the two main points you have to tell, and you have to say correlation subquery is similar to loop in a loop concept of any programming language. Okay, so this completes a subquery and correlation subquery. So this gives you what is the query for it? Who has done transactions? Okay, who has done the transactions? The next query also we have to type who has not done the transaction. That means who has done the transactions. You have to put not. Clear? You can just practice this, and not exist means it will become ulta. That's it. So not exist is this. Clear? So this is not exist. It returns true. So it returns false. If you put not exist, true will become false, false will become true. That's it. It is a function. Exist is a, not a clause. Exist is a function. Clear? Good. So exist is not a clause. Exist is a function. How do you know whether it is a function or not? See the symbols. This is also a function symbol. Try to understand. Okay, this is not subquery symbol. This is a function symbol now we are using. Okay. So exist is a function. If you are not clear, I'll write this point. Okay. Hmm. I've written it is a Boolean function. Clear? It is not a clause like select clause, where clause like that. On this questions, who has not done the transactions? So Bhaskar is not done the transaction. Who has done the transactions? All of them you can get. Okay, not exist. So this will give you clear not exist. What is not exist? Which is a function. Clear? So any doubts? Yes, yes, you can always, Ravi, you can practice now. Whatever the question you are asking me, always you can practice. Using a subquery, you can write maximum balance, minimum balance, and correlation subquery also you can write. Okay. But correlation subquery will be confusing a lot to you. Okay. If you are able to understand correlation, you can. But always using normal subqueries, you should be able to use distinct, top three, top two, like that, you can easily write it. But all interviews, these questions are mandatory. People would ask, tell me the logic of how to find out 10th highest balance. Write me they'll give you pen and paper and ask you to write it. And everybody, you have to be very clear on it. Thanks, guys. So we'll be meeting Monday. So Monday would be the last session on queries. Okay. If you have any doubts, you can just ask me. So Monday, I'll be giving a small case study on we have to practice for a at least 2 to 3 days, and you can submit them. Clear?